Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Satnam, and welcome back everyone to the channel. My name is Gobind, and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. Tonight we're going to talk all about this full moon in Capricorn that is happening tomorrow at 21 degrees of Capricorn, and I'm going to be going over the astrology of the moon, what's happening, what are the aspects that are important to look at. I'm also going to be going over the Sabian symbol, the Chandra symbol, and the gene key for this full moon to give us deeper meaning and more symbolism to help us understand what this actual full moon is all about. But let me say hi to everybody that's in the chat. Hello, Maria. Hello, Jason. Hello, Kantika Nova. Hello, Sunny. Hello, Raven. Hello, Shannon. Hello, Meraki. Welcome in, everyone. So happy to be back. And the first thing that I will say is, before we hop into the astrology, if you haven't yet joined our Starseed membership, make sure that you do. I upload some amazing content, some videos that gives you extra information as to the astrology for every season of the year. We are about to finish Cancer season and move into Leo season. So if you want to be a part of this amazing community, if you want to hang out with us during the holidays of the Celtic wheel, the equinoxes and the solstices, if you want to be guided through the astrology, then the Starseed membership is the perfect way to do that. We also have live events, and one of them is actually happening on the 19th. It is a Zoom group support Zoom chat, and we get to talk and express ourselves and share what we're all going through. It's a nice way to feel like you are not alone in this crazy world. Hello, Jeanette. Welcome in. Hello, Raessa. Hello, Tonya. Is that you, Kim? Sedona Horse Medicine? Thank you guys for watching. So what we're going to do is I'm going to share the chart on the screen from this full moon in Capricorn and just kind of dive into what this moon means for us. So the first thing I'll say is that a full moon is the kind of energy that heightens things. because the moon is ruled by the realm of the emotions, hey babe, what it heightens is actually our emotions. And so things can feel more intense, and we can have this experience of feeling maybe out of sorts or unable to control the flow or like the flood of emotions that pass through us when there is a full moon. I am actually surprisingly feeling much more stable now. I was feeling quite like all over the place for the last 2 weeks, but now I feel like this actual moon has brought me into more clarity and more groundedness. And the reason I say that, and you may also feel that as well, is that this is a Capricorn energy, and Capricorn is where the moon is actually in detriment. It loves to be in the opposite sign, which is the sign where the sun is in Cancer. But right now it finds itself in it's sort of the space where it doesn't really enjoy itself. Why? Because Capricorn is a much more I guess I was going to say the word consolidated energy, or Capricorn is a much more mature energy, and it's much more restrictive of the emotions. It's much more, it's responsible, right? It acts responsibly, or it wants to act responsibly. And it ends up feeling much more of a serious energy. So you can feel during the one time where the moon is in Capricorn that instead of feeling super emotional, you may be actually either restricting your emotions, or you may feel more grounded and more put together. So either one can be something that shows up. In general, a full moon in Capricorn can also feel like an intense emotional buildup that is not allowed to be expressed or feels restricted. That's also something that some of us may be feeling right now. But when you tap into the gift of a moon in Capricorn, you move from that restriction towards deep understanding and wisdom. So it's that deep understanding and wisdom that helps you to find that groundedness through the intensity. Capricorn is also where the Lyran starseeds are. This is a Lyran Stargate, which is what I posted on the title of the video. And the Lyrans ask us to show up for the world through the wisdom of our experience. And that is what Capricorn is all about. It's also about tapping into our ancestral wisdom and deep knowing of the legacy we are here to build for humanity. The Lyran starseeds are the oldest souls in the galaxy. Hola, Sandra. They're the oldest souls in the galaxy, and they are here to teach us about sovereignty. You cannot be a sovereign being and not have your power. And that's the truth about Capricorn, is that it does have to do with power. And so this power is like, are you using it wisely is really the question. What have you manifested too? Because the full moon is a time where we get to see the things that we have manifested. We get to see the things that have been growing, and you're like reaping the rewards during full moon energy. And what are those rewards that you are reaping? That really depends on, what you planted, couple of weeks ago on the new moon in Cancer. But it depends on so much more, because these cycles, it's like these are cycles within cycles within cycles within cycles that we're talking about astrologically, stories that unfold that help us to understand ourselves better. And there's nothing like the energy of the Lyrans to remind us of the importance of our experience. And I'm not just talking about our experience of this lifetime. I'm talking about our experience of like past lives. We bring that with us. And if you do have a Lyran starseed markings in your chart, you can find out by getting a starseed reading if you want to know if you're a Lyran starseed. But if you have these markings in your chart, then you have this sort of responsibility to bring forth the wisdom of your experience of all the past lives. Because if you have Lyran starseed markings, you're a very ancient soul. And that's just how it works. So this, in a general sense, what this moon is bringing up for us. But there's a lot more. For example, this moon is, if I show you guys right here, it's in Capricorn, of course, but then you can also see that it's right next to Pluto. Hello, Valerie. Welcome in. So it's on an exact star called Sulafat, which is the star in the Lyran constellation, the Lyran star system. It's also conjunct Pluto. That's a big deal. Hey, Don, welcome in. The conjunction to Pluto brings in like more intensity. It's so weird because I have been feeling super, super emotional up to this point, and now I feel so much more like put together. And I think for me personally, this has to do with my progressed moon has moved into Capricorn, and it will be a full moon in Capricorn. So, and it will be around these degrees for me as well when it does happen in about a year or so, the next 2.5 years for sure. But so I'm feeling like the call. This is a deep call to take your power back. This is a deep call to understand your power. And that is very Lyran. The Lyrans have power because they have experience, and you can abuse that power, of course, right? There's a really cool thing that this moon is also doing, and it's that it is making a trine to the north node and a sextile to the south node. And then those two, the nodes in turn are making obviously a trine to the sun, and then the Mercury energy over here and a sextile. So this is what we call this figure right here in astrology. We actually call it a mystic rectangle. It's a little bit like the energy of a grand trine, but it is just a different word for it, right? Any trine and sextile energy brings in good vibes. And I think this may be overriding some of the negative, not negative, I don't want to call it negative, but some of the more difficult things to face, to look at, to think about in terms of a full moon in the sign of Capricorn, right? Hello, Shannon. I don't know if I said hi to you yet, but hello. And hello, Jill and Tiger Lily. Welcome in. So there's trines, beautiful, beautiful trines. The other trine that is obviously happening at the same time is a trine to Uranus. Uranus is right over here with the north node, and that brings in good luck. And if there's something unexpected that shows up, it's going to feel good. Like a good unexpected thing that brings in that brings in sort of like a good energy or good vibe versus an unexpected thing that feels horrible, right? So this is good. All these trines to the north node, a realignment to our destiny, a realignment to our purpose, moving forward, knowing that we can't predict what's happening or what's going to show up in our lives, but we feel that the direction that we're going is good. So the unpredictable things are actually bringing in good change. This is what we would call good change. The challenging aspect that is happening with this moon is that it is actually making, it's not exact, but it is making a square to Chiron, which brings up healing. It brings up karmic healing. It brings up karmic wounds. You know, Jupiter's right there magnifying that energy. It's deep healing. And if you're not open to healing, it almost like it runs you over instead of you accepting it and being with it and allowing the healing to surrender to it. If you resist it's almost like it's worse, right? Hello, Joan, welcome in. And so it brings up a lot of healing our inner child. Hello, Rebecca. Healing our inner wounds, deep wounds of who we think we are. You know, do we know who we are? Our identity, all that stuff is Chiron in Aries. But the moon is also going to be making or actually not the moon, but Venus is during this full moon is going to be making a trine to Saturn. Saturn is over here at 24. Venus is at 24 of Gemini, and they're making a trine. And Venus trine Saturn is a good feeling because Venus trine Saturn, it's like us taking responsibility in our relationships and feeling good about it. Like instead of instead of feeling like you're doing the wrong thing and you don't know what to do to make things right, you actually learn to take responsibility. There's something really beautiful that every Tuesday I go to a meeting, which is for my doTERRA business. And today they had this, a beautiful coach. She came in and she said something that was really powerful that stuck with me, kind of blew my mind. And I loved the way that she described it. But one of the things that she said was that we need to step into radical responsibility, where we literally, it's another way of basically saying, I understand karma and I understand that I created this. And that if it's here in my life, it's for a reason and I will learn something from this. That is radical responsibility, because you want to put things aside and say, I didn't cause this. This is happening to me, not for me. But that is not the truth. The truth of the universe is that everything is happening for us, not to us. And that we chose all of the experiences that we chose so that we could grow in a very specific way for our own personal evolution. These trines, they bring in this energy. You're talking about Saturn, right? Like a Capricorn energy is Saturn. It's ruled by Saturn. So Saturn is the dispositor of this energy, which means you got to think about what is Saturn doing during this moon to create more, bring more meaning. And it's trining Venus, which is really, really good for our relationships. It means that there's more understanding. There's more, right? Taking that radical responsibility and using what we get, using the experiences in our lives to step into more power and to step into more wisdom by knowing that our experiences count and we can use our experiences that we've had to help us understand life in general, even better. So we talked about the mystic rectangle. There's also a kite happening too. I mean, look, this is a lot, you guys. There is a grand kite pointing at the moon from a grand trine between the sun, Juno, Neptune, and the south node. So the sun is over here, right? So there's a trine to the south node. This is the kite, right? It points directly at the moon. And that means that this just points towards the powerful importance of everything that's going on. So over here, you've got Neptune and Juno, which is intuition and commitment in relationships. But I'm talking about the kind of commitment that goes beyond, from before this life. Those kind of soulmate relationships. Then obviously the energy gets, channeled towards, it says this is the most important point of this configuration, astrological configuration, the moon and Pluto, your emotions and your power. The power that your emotions have to literally open portals, to give you power, to take your power back. South node, meaning, learning from lessons from power back. South node, meaning, learning from lessons from past lives, karmic lessons. And of course, you've got the sun, which is basically making a conjunction to Mercury. It's the soul and the mind coming together, bringing in the answers, helping us understand in a bigger picture what's happening here. So a lot of powerful astrological alignments that make this moon really important. Another thing that's happening is that Mercury is making a square to Chiron. So Mercury's over here, Chiron's over here. And this one is almost like this is almost like, oh wait, I'm getting a funny notification. Okay. This is also kind of like Chiron in itself is actually making a T-square to the moon. So that healing energy, the challenge to heal, right? The call to heal is very present because Chiron is both squaring the sun and Mercury and the moon and Pluto, which are opposing to create the full moon effect. So that's what's going on. Like Chiron says, this is also a powerful time of healing. And if you try to run away from healing, it will not work. You can't. This is the challenge to step up to heal. One thing that's really cool that I didn't mention about Venus is that she's actually on the Orion star constellation, in the degrees where we find the Orions. And the Orions are, this is the knowledge, this is the wisdom that is coming through. We need to find the wisdom, and the wisdom comes through us understanding what is beautiful about this. What is beautiful about this? What is good about this? Where can we find the good? And the last thing that I want to talk about in terms of aspects is Saturn is also making a T-square to the nodes. And that's a challenge to heal karma. That's timelines. That's healing past timelines. I mean, so much. There's so much, right? Like all of those things are major things. And it's like there's multiple of these major things going on. So healing karma, healing past life wounds, healing in general, taking responsibility. I would say that the biggest thing that I would take away from this is that word that I said in the beginning, that phrase. This is about taking radical responsibility, and it has to do with the Lyran energy, the trines to Saturn, the fact that this is a Saturn-ruled moon, all of that. Radical responsibility. Are you willing to take radical responsibility for what is going on in your life right now? Even your anxiety. Yeah, I said it. Even your anxiety, even your negative emotions, even your negative thoughts, all of it. Are you willing to take radical responsibility? Because it is your responsibility. It's your responsibility to take radical responsibility over your life. That's how significant this energy is. It's quite intense. I actually am really enjoying this energy. Hello, Chrisanne. I'm really enjoying it. So let's take that a little bit deeper. Hello, Wendy. Let's look at the Sabian symbol and the Chandra symbols, and then let's actually look at the gene key. And hello, Adriana. And it's going to blow your mind when I go over the gene key. That's going to be like the cherry on top. So what is the Sabian symbol for this moon? Okay, here we go. Here's the Sabian symbol. Leaning over a battle map with one of his officers, their heads practically touching, a general explains why they lost their last battle and what they should do now. Radical responsibility. Speaking of radical responsibility, leaning over a battle map with one of his officers, their heads practically touching, a general explains why they lost their last battle and what they should do now. This is about entering into a campaign for some cause, keen decisiveness, analyzing the tactics necessary to win, post-mortems on failed efforts, rationalizations, excuses, backtracking or trying a new approach if one's first efforts fail, refuse to admit defeat, have a hard time backing away from losing a battle. The resistance is real. Collective efforts with a definite chain of command, taking orders versus giving orders, butting heads with one's superior versus reaching a meeting of the minds, must learn to communicate effectively with lesser intellects, crossing swords with others in argument, learning to listen versus haughtily dismissing alternate explanations, playing the situation as it lies, right? The reality, unprejudiced assessment of obstacles and adversaries, unbending moral integrity, fighting the good fight. That's the energy of the Sabian symbol. It is. There's an aspect of that has to do with, here's the reality of the situation, and this is what we need to do about this. And it says how we have to approach our lives. We have to realize that here's the reality of the situation. What's the best thing that is coming from this? Instead of focusing on, okay, we lost our last battle, but okay, what do we do next? What's the next thing, right? That's the important thing that we need to recognize is don't get stuck in the, oh, something didn't work out. Move beyond it. Move beyond it. Okay, what's the Chandra symbol for this moon? Let's take a look. A bare altar covered with black velvet. Death is a force that brings into earth something from beyond, and this something is the X factor in the human equation. Your own previous deaths as major signposts which hold you to your noblest and most surrendered ways of being. Mortality has spoken. Immortality arises from the ashes. A threshold awareness that hugs the edge between the worlds and bows before a God who presides over the living and the dead. You stride across worlds, in tune with myriad frequencies, and are quite able to make way for the unknown, the infinite, the other side of life. A fiercely held intention to bow before what truly is and fall for nothing less, no matter how attractive or appealing. Wow. Let me read that again. A bare altar covered with black velvet. Death is a force that brings into earth something beyond, and this something is the X factor in the human equation. Your own previous deaths as major signposts which hold you to your noblest and most surrendered ways of being. Mortality has spoken. Immortality arises from the ashes. A threshold awareness that hugs the edge between the worlds and bows before a God who presides over the living and the dead. You stride across worlds, in tune with myriad frequencies, and are quite able to make way for the unknown, the infinite, the other side of life. A fiercely held intention to bow before what truly is and fall for nothing less, no matter how attractive or appealing. Whoa, that's kind of deep. It's very, very deep. So, the cherry on top. Hello, Megan. The cherry on top. The 61st gene key. The one that will kind of bring it all together, wrap it all up nicely for us so that we can understand what the hell this is talking about. The 61st gene key that moves from the shadow of psychosis to the gift of inspiration to the city of sanctity. The 61st gene key, the Holy of Holies. The 61st city, sanctity, entering the unknowable. I'm actually going to read the gift first. Inspiration. God is pressure. We're going to read the gift and the city. Inspiration is what happens when you stop worshiping God and start becoming God. The 61st gift of inspiration may sound like a common enough attribute, but the reality of this gift is far from comfortable. Inspiration refers to a process that is very different from our normal understanding of the word. The word inspiration derives from the ancient Indo-European word for breath and is connected to the Latin spiritus, also meaning breath. The process of inspiration is a gradual releasing of your inner breath through the fabric of your reality and out into the world. Despite its wonderful creative manifestations in the world, inspiration involves a powerful dismantling of the inner realities that have been built by your mind. Inspiration begins when you place yourself directly in the firing line of the inner question that lies within each human being. The ancient Chinese named this 61st hexagram inner truth. And as a pictographic symbol, it represents that which is hidden deep within us. The path of inspiration often begins as an outer quest, as you seek answers from the outside world through systems, teachers, or disciplines. In the beginning, inspiration comes to you sporadically as flashes in which you fleetingly perceive the nature of reality in a distilled form. Sometimes inner truth may be revealed to you for longer periods. Such shattering and powerful experiences usually alter the path of one's destiny. What separates inspiration from other heightened experiences is that after inspiration, you are permanently altered. Even the brief flash of true inspiration will change the way your awareness operates. Through inspiration, you are being prepared for an even greater experience than you can yet conceive. The path through the 61st gift is necessarily a very creative path, since true inspiration destroys some aspect of your inner delusion, thus releasing a great surge of trapped energy into your body and life. Such energy naturally seeks an outlet through creativity. Creativity is the single most important gift for drawing humanity out of its mass psychosis. It unlocks the latent forces of inspiration inside you, pulling you away from a state of victimization. Radical responsibility. Inspiration and creativity have their challenges, however. The main one for human beings is patience. Inspiration cannot be forced or predicted, but it comes when it comes and stays for as long as it stays. In between these heightened inspirational states, you may well become dejected or depressed. However, at a certain level of frequency, you will reach a plateau. And at this level, the inspiration itself gives you enough energy to maintain a heightened state. Once again, the key is some form of creative process. By its very nature, the gift of inspiration is spiritual because it serves to loosen the hold of your mental constructs, opening and expanding your capacity for love. Alongside the 61st gift, the 62nd gift of precision enables the worldless experience of inspiration to be expressed in a language that others can understand. The 61st gift of precision is adept at expressing the mystery of life with great intelligence, beauty, and economy. One of the hallmarks of the 61st gift in action is the originality of its expression and the seemingly endless stream of its activity in the world. Deep within the person, in the midst of such a process, something extraordinary is occurring. Their hold on reality as they know it is slipping. Many people are not able to let go during these stages and cling to the forms they have begun to create in the world. Those who can continually release the definitions of their reality to begin to enter a more rarefied realm, begin to enter a more rarefied realm. They enter a stream of consciousness in which inspiration begins to annihilate the lower mind. At this stage, it may appear as though a greater being is somehow taking over your life. You may not know it, but you are approaching a door. The door to the greatest secret known to humanity. The door to the divine. One of the greatest statements ever made concerning the nature of divinity is the mystical axiom, God is pressure. This revelation powerfully describes the process whereby the inner truth hidden within human beings is unlocked. You are a pressure machine. Deep inside your body, the pressure of the mystery of your being beats in the heart of every single molecule of living DNA. Through its associated codon ring, the ring of Gaia, this 61st gene key represents a mystery hiding inside every single unit of matter in the universe. This mystery is the mystery of Christ consciousness, the quintessence of inner light that holds all things together. It is the creative evolutionary process that gradually unveils this inner light. Through the ring of Gaia, we see how our ecosystem, the living, breathing diversity of the blue-green planet and all its life forms, is destined to discover its own inner truth as one entity, the sphere. This codon ring shows that evolution is a force that is breaking out from inside us, and that to unlock its secrets, we have only to look inward. The 61st city, sanctity, entering the unknowable. In arriving at the 61st city, we approach a great mystery, the mystery of life itself. Remember, this is what this moon represents. The inspiration pouring through the higher reaches of the 61st gift is a stream of sparks from a great transformation occurring within every human being who approaches the inner door. As we have seen, the manifestations of inspiration are unimportant to the one who is truly inspired. These manifestations are simply the myriad colors of the experience itself, and as such are wonderful to those outsiders who are witnessing the process. Sooner or later, however, inspiration comes to an end. The process exhausts itself as it throws out all the mythic identities contained within your DNA. As you enter the field of the 61st city, a huge, pregnant silence descends, and all your mental activity abruptly ceases. Here, inner truth resides. In Western mythic traditions, this is a place and is called by many names: the Ark of the Covenant, the Grail Castle, the Holy of Holies, the Celestial Palace. In the East, it is generally described as a state, enlightenment, nirvana, samadhi, or some such term. The 61st city is neither a place nor a state. It is the inner experience of sanctity, of being one with the divine. Within this city, true reality dawns. The pressure that creates humanity's mass psychosis is no longer routed directly into the human brain, but is refused and rerouted through the solar plexus system, which houses a far more advanced system of awareness. Once the pressure of awareness is removed from the brain, the question of why finally ceases, and all other questions emerging from it, such as how and who, also die. However, the pressure must go somewhere, and indeed, it does. Through the medium of the solar plexus center, it goes everywhere. It is through the constantly vibrating wave frequencies emerging from the solar plexus that awareness is carried beyond the body into every corner of the universe. You immediately find yourself both completely empty and yet endlessly full. The experience of sanctity is paradoxically an experience with no experiencer, and is one of the greatest mysteries of evolution. Once it has been entered, it cannot end. and must be differentiated from all other mystical experiences or higher visionary states. Such states occur at the higher reaches of the 61st gift. A human being in whom the 61st city is being revealed is nothing but a human vehicle manifesting pure universal awareness. This state of sanctity is the underlying nature of reality, and until you come to rest within it, you are always asleep. For those of us outside of this realization, such a person seems to be a god. They ripple with divinity and exude the strange unearthly essence that humans refer to as holiness. They emit a frequency of such availability and at the same time such power that we find them either irresistible or terrifying. These are the people who we, in our psychosis, deify and worship. We do so to our detriment, because the whole point of such a presence among us is to demonstrate the fact of every human being's inner divinity. For one of us to settle into the realization of our inherent divinity, all we need to do is entertain another who has already realized this inner truth. The being within the 61st city no longer knows any difference between you and him or her. Because this state of consciousness has always existed and will always exist within every aspect of the universe, such a person cannot help you in any way. They simply serve as a mirror of your own inherent divinity. So to be in the presence of the 61st city in another is no guarantee of anything, and in some respects can lead to more confusion. What really has to occur is the deep understanding inside you that you are asleep. And this understanding can be greatly facilitated by a mirror. However, to remain with that mirror frequently leads to worship of the mirror, which prevents your own realization. This is why, for example, the Buddhists say, if you meet the Buddha along the road, you must kill him. The 61st city is about living life without answers. It is about simply becoming the mystery of who you are. Only when all answers finally fall away, does the inner truth dawn. If there is a city that negates all words, descriptions, and answers, it's the 61st city. Life is a mystery. Enlightenment is a mystery. Inner truth is a mystery. No matter what you do to try to solve the mystery, you will never come closer. There is no attitude you can adopt in response to the mystery, since all such things are subtle attempts at solving it. You simply must come to realize that you know absolutely nothing. And this profound revelation can only occur in its own way and at its own time. For humanity in its current phase of evolution, the 61st city can only cause infuriation. It is better that we forget all about it and bring our focus to the gift level, where our mind at least has something to grasp and something to aim for. Once you have pulled yourself clear of your psychosis, it is simply a matter of time before the city also arrives. The vehicles we currently inhabit are extremely limited in terms of their awareness operating system, which favors the development of the mind. Therefore, we must respect the phase of evolution through which we are passing and enjoy what lies before us. The 61st city is really a matter of luck at this stage. If the vehicle you are sitting in happens to mutate, then you are in luck. The future, however, holds a different story. The 61st city will become far more commonplace in the next few hundred years, because humanity is in the process of making a quantum leap. The children who will begin to arrive on this planet will carry this city of sanctity in their bones. They will radiate it through every pore, and they will carry it out into the world with them. They will be the living embodiment of life's mystery, of life's potential in form. They will bring a balance back into the world that will see the mind cease its turbulent search for an ultimate answer. In the final analysis, we are the answer. Wow. From psychosis to inspiration to sanctity. This moon, hello everyone, welcome in. This moon is asking us to be in our sacredness without having to have the answer of why, how, why, what, where, when, without trying to answer the question, just to be in your own sacredness, to be inspired, to be in a state of inspiration without trying to figure out, why am I inspired? Why is this inspiring me? When you bring that logic into it, you miss the whole point, that the mystery will always be a mystery. That's why it cannot be solved. It cannot be figured out. And that's the magic within it, is that it is and will always be a mystery. And when it stops being a mystery, then it stops being magical. And we can't ever stop being magical. So we will always be a mystery. Yes, just be. This moon is telling us to just be, to stop trying to figure things out and get all the answers, and just be. Trust your experience, trust your wisdom, trust everything that you've gained thus far. Use it to help you navigate into the future. But the moment you start to try to figure out the why, it's like you're going to get lost, and it'll bring more questions than answers. So can you trust in your wisdom, your own innate wisdom, like the Lyran starseeds? Can you trust in that wisdom? Can you trust the answers that come from within without having to know where they're coming from or why, or, all that stuff? It's like taking a leap of faith, right? Yes, Dawn. Leap into trust, not having answers, just trusting. Following your intuition. Knowing that you are where you are, and that whatever is happening in your life, this is your opportunity, your chance to take radical responsibility. I'm going to be using that phrase a lot. This is your opportunity. This moon is asking us to take radical responsibility in our lives. And as we do, and as we surrender to the mystery, not try to solve it, as we surrender to the mystery, we literally step into our own sanctity. It's powerful. It's beautiful. It's deep. It's definitely very deep. But I can feel that. I can feel it. I can feel the energy of this moon and what it's asking us to do. And it's only going to be a tall order if you're afraid of taking radical responsibility. It's going to feel heavy if you're afraid of taking radical responsibility in your life. It's going to feel like too much to handle if you're not willing to take radical responsibility. That is what this moon is all about. So the minute that you, right, take a leap of faith, surrender to let the mystery be the mystery. You don't know the answer to what's coming next, but you know that there's infinite possibilities. So which possibility are you going to entertain? Entertain the one that makes you feel good about your future. Entertain the one that makes you feel good about yourself, that makes you feel like you are doing the right thing, right? In your own unique way, that makes you feel like this feels good for me, my life, everyone that's involved, all that stuff. So step into that by entertaining those possibilities and not entertaining any of the things and the thoughts that make you feel the opposite of that make you feel like you're not going anywhere, you're not getting anywhere, you're not manifesting anything, you're not like bringing, you're not like bringing in the abundance that you were looking for in your life. We can judge where we're at based off where we're trying to go. But this is saying stop doing that. This is saying like realize that when you judge yourself, you're not taking into account all of the experiences of the past lives that you've already had. That you have the experience, all of the experience that you need to make wise decisions and intuitive decisions. And you should stop trying to judge yourself for making the wrong decision or doing the wrong thing. Because when you're in that place, you stop trusting that you have your answers deep within. And, right, the answer is, in the end, he said, we are the answer. The mystery is us. And that's all we need to know. And we are the answer. So it's super powerful. So that was a lot of information. There's a lot going on with this moon. It definitely has intense energy because I can feel it here arriving. It's here with us. It's like it's standing strong. The energy of this moon is like, I am the warrior. I am the knight. I am the king. I am the emperor. I am the queen. I am that. And if I stand in that power, right, with Pluto right there, then from the top of the mountain, you can see everything that you need to see. I actually really like it. And I hope that you guys are enjoying this energy too. I know not everyone experiences all the astrology in the same way, but there's a lot that is coming through from this energy. Like it's potent. That's what I feel. It's strong and it's potent. And even though the moon is in detriment, it is strong right now because it's got Pluto right there. And remember, this is the last full moon in Capricorn with Pluto conjunct it in Capricorn. The next time we have a full moon, this is the ending of a story and the beginning of a new story for our lives. Since 2008, there's been full moons that have conjuncted Pluto. This is the last one. Because the next full moon in Capricorn, Pluto is going to be in Aquarius, and we're going to be in another story. So what is ending and what is beginning? I mean, for me, like there's a huge ending and also a huge beginning. The ending is so powerful, but it's just as powerful as the new beginning that is arriving in your life. Ponder on that. Ask yourself, what is that? All right. Thank you all for being here. I'll be back tomorrow night to do the full moon in Capricorn ceremony. Hopefully I feel good enough. My voice is still kind of a little hoarse and my throat is like really super dry and I've been coughing a lot. So hopefully I'll be able to sing tomorrow. I really want to. Because I feel like this Lyran energy is so beautiful, and Lyran energy is also about music. The lyre is actually a musical instrument. It's like a harp. So music is a big part of this energy. Exciting times, yes. So again, thank you all for being here. I will be back tomorrow. Chrisanne says, I needed to hear this message. You're welcome. And I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your evening, an amazing day tomorrow. And I'll see you tomorrow night for our ceremony. Thank you. And have a good one. Sat Nam.